Did you hear that as well?
No, what?
Oh, it said on my end, recording in progress.
Oh yeah, it does that on.
Okay, yeah. All right. Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of I'd Swipe Right to That. I am Ian Castro, and with me is.
The one and only Grant Smith. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, I don't know if they can answer, but I am a gentleman and I will answer. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Long
All right.
day, but a good day. We're rocking
Yeah.
it out.
Cool. Anything happen on your end?
My mom is coming back from Norway tonight.
Oh, nice. Is that a plane or is it a cruise? I forget.
Plane.
Plane, cool. Yeah, because yeah, my girlfriend or you know her, she's going on a cruise to Norway, so I wasn't sure what mode of transportation your mom had chosen, but that's awesome. Did you have a good trip?
No, it was. It was.
Oh,
It,
yeah,
it was terrible.
yeah. I bet like nothing for all our Norway viewers out there. I know you're out there. Um, we we heard some stuff about your food as well. Like your mom, what did your mom had some like she did like a master class for her company on the food.
Yes, to prepare for her company for the Norway food, she decided to try a bunch of different foods and bring them into the office. So we're trying things like the new Starlight Coke, the Pixel Coke Cola as well. Like those are kind of like, okay, those are like the new things, the niche things that you might want to try. But she also brought in different flavored cockroaches as well. Fun fact, you can get barbecue flavored, you can get ranch flavored cockroaches. Uh, you could try all of that as well. So, she got her coworkers pretty prepared for the food in Norway because food in Norway is no bueno.
Yeah, like did they feel prepared? Did you get that information from her?
No, they were not prepared for it still, even after all that. So
Ooh. So what you're saying is us probably as well as her, she would not swipe right on Norway food. So that leads us to our first topic of the day. No, just playing. We're not doing foods this time around. We are going to start off our podcast with the I'd Swipe Right to That on Cliché Expressions. So you've heard them. Your mama's told you them. Your daddy's told you them. Your grandparents definitely told you them. They started that. They started those. Like those weren't cliches back then. That's just what people said. So, yeah, let's get started with the first one. Could you read that one for me?
yes, are we doing like popcorn reading, or are we taking it back to eighth grade? No, I'm just kidding. So, well, like I said, today has been a pretty long day. Some might even say that I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Some would say that. Yeah.
Ian, have you ever woken up on the wrong side of the bed?
Um, physically, yes, and you kind of wonder how you got there. I'm not exactly sure if you've seen the movie Hereditary, but I watched that for the second time the other day. To my to my I don't know if I'm using this word correctly. To my chagrin,
Yes.
that's that's the right word. To my chagrin, I was forced to watch that because my girlfriend and my sister hadn't seen it, so they forced me to watch it a second time in my life, and I didn't sleep well that night. And I kept having these like night terrors, night sweats, thinking like if you haven't seen the movie, holy shit, it's not the scariest throughout, but it's gonna get you near the end. And I just kept like tossing and turning. I ended up on the wrong side of the bed physically, uh, but yeah, that expression is mainly towards grumpiness of the morning. Like you probably had some coworkers when you're looking disheveled with your hair, like say that you've woken up on the wrong side of the bed. Is that right?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's even over Zoom, they still say, Grant, your hair looks like a piece of shit. What did you do?
Yeah, it's just that office banter. They just say, fuck Grant, you look like shit. Looks like you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't know about this one because it's the start of the day when you're hearing this. You're not hearing this at the end of the day. It's the first thing you're probably hearing. So it's not the most positive note to start your day on.
Exactly. Like, what's even like the antithesis to it? Like at night, like, do you say like, "Oh, you look like you're gonna sleep bad"?
No, no. When you said that, I thought it was gonna be, oh, it looks like you stayed in the same position when you slept. I was like, whoa, were you watching me?
I feel like this expression works a lot more for like people who have like queen or king size mattresses. If you have like a twin size mattress, like I feel like you're not really gonna have enough room to wake up on another side of the bed. So like I've been staying at my parents' place for the past week or so, and I've been like crashing on their twin size like bed there. And I feel like I'm always sleeping in the same position. So no matter which way I wake up, I feels relatively the same.
Yeah. uh, I love, we're like how deep we're getting into this. You said that you had a bad day. Did you actually wake up on the wrong side of the bed, since we're getting so literal with it?
I wouldn't say no, not really. Today went okay.
Yeah.
Just work was long day at the
Yeah.
office.
No, yeah, I completely understand. I was off today, so maybe I don't understand. So I think I had I guess a better day. So I guess you could say I woke up on the right side of the bed. But I am going to be swiping left on this as well. Like I don't want to hear it. You don't want to say that to somebody, because what if they did,
You don't know what they're going through.
Exactly. Get off my fucking ass, Karen. It looks like I don't even know what to say. Yeah, well, it looks like Bob still left you. So
You know what you might say to Karen if
yeah.
she's acting like that to you. You might
Yeah.
tell her, don't get your knickers in a twist.
Oh, look at that. That's how you fucking do it. Yes. That leads us to our second one. Don't get your knickers in a twist. When we were talking about our mammies and Grammys earlier, um, like making these expressions up, someone said that once, and it kept.
Yeah.
Like it's still a thing we some people say today. I personally have never said it. Like, yeah.
I've heard of like don't get your panties in a bunch. Like
Yeah.
I've heard kids like on the playground say that, to try to
Yeah.
seem more mature to younger kids, to like
Yeah.
trying to tell them to get over themselves, even though they're fighting for the same part of the playground. So like, yeah, that also stayed with me too, Ian.
That so it's basically these first two are very invasive. Like they're not like these people when they say these expressions as they may be, they're basically saying, oh, it looks like you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Your bed is a personal space.
Mhm.
You know what else is a personal space? Your balls, your ass.
Then that leads to today's sponsor.
Yeah, Manscaped, please sponsor us. But no, like these expressions, like they, I guess the way we we listed them off, like I feel like the first two right off the bat, that like you don't want to hear these on like ever.
No, I'd swipe left to this one as well too. I think we can start doing some more like up to date phrases, especially for this one, because when's the last time you've heard someone refer to pantaloons as knickers? I'd rather hear like don't get your pantaloons in a twist, like unironically.
Yeah, like if you want to be hip with the kids today, not even pantaloons, like don't get your chinos in a twist, some shit like that. What are the kids wearing these days? Uh,
Don't get your rompers in a bunch.
oh yeah, definitely. Don't get your G strap in a, in yeah. But man, I guess should we rephrase some of these? Let's get a positive one
Yeah.
going up on the next one. I'm going to change the list a little bit here. I know the audience can't see this,
Uh-huh.
but let's change the order of this. We're going to get a positive one there. What's that one? What's that one say?
Well, some might say that the grass is always greener on the other side, and I might be inclined to agree.
I Same. Like we had to get through those two negative expressions, but the grass is always greener on the other side. And yeah, fucking love this expression. You wanna have something positive to say about somebody? They just broke up. They're they're maybe someone did just give them a wedgie in high school. You know that. Did you ever get a wedgie?
No,
No,
really, no.
that was. Did that skip our generation? Because I feel like kids these days are like mean. Like, but when we were growing up, like not a lot of like we saw fights, but not stuff like that.
No, I feel like that had been for the kids like in the 60s or the 70s, I had a neighbor back in the day who told me like I was 13, mind you. I was helping this old man like with his roof, pretty much helping with like pretty much getting with reshacking that and all that. I don't even know what the right terminology is, but I was helping him with his roof.
Mhm.
And he asked me like, "Oh, you have good grades?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Oh, you stay out of trouble?" "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah, I'd probably beat up a guy like you in high school." And I'm like,
Well,
"Sir, you're 60 years old."
God damn, holy shit.
So the
That's
grass is on the grizz, it's greener on the other side, and the other side right now being like us Gen Zs. I guess we're Gen Zs, us 2000 kids, because we never had to deal with that beating up nonsense
whoa.
in school, like they did.
I don't know about you, but I was born in 1999, October 1999. So I'm a 90s kid.
Be
Um,
special, everybody.
no, that's what my mom tells me. Grants, I don't know. We just got off this tangent of wedgies and bullying and stuff like that. When do you think the belt was invented? Because I'll explain in a second, but I just want to hear your guess. When was the modern day belt that we wear? When do you think that was invented?
Fun fact: it was actually invented in 1923 by John T. Arbuckle.
No, I was like, wait, wait a second. You had me going there, like that. You actually knew that.
Was I close
Um,
to the year at all?
you were, yeah. It says 1920s.
Oh shit!
Yeah, the fact that you said 1923 blew my mind. I'm like, is he on the same page as me? But yes, the belt was invented 1920s. It doesn't give me an exact year. I probably can look it up, but that's gonna bring me to a whole other thing. Um, I don't even know where I was at with
Well,
this.
you brought up one good point earlier about like you might have a friend like who's recently feeling like a breakup or
Yeah,
something like that, and you might tell him like the grass is always greener on the other side.
of course.
Another good like cliche expression is there's always a silver lining. That's another one that you always hear
Yeah,
kind of say like in relation to this one. I feel like when they get
yeah,
bad news.
that is true. You are right about that. That's not even on the list, but I feel like those coincide for sure.
Mhm.
Because like those are just positive ones, and I feel bad that we've swiped left on the two negative ones so far, and we're swiping right on like positive ones. That's not how the whole entire show is going to go. But yeah, you're right. You just got bullied. Your girlfriend broke up with you. Somebody gave you a wedgie. The grass is always greener on the other side, and there's always a silver lining or a white lining, depending on if you're wearing tidy whities. You know.
That was provocative.
Oops. Man, I make you like? Were you at a loss for words there, Grant? Did the cat got your tongue?
Some might say so.
Man, we got some good transitions so far. Um, yeah, we're naturals at this. Follow us on Spotify, um,
Please.
please. But yeah, cat got your tongue. I have some. Cat got my tongue. I have some thoughts about this, but I want you to go first, so I'm not stepping on your toes or anything like that.
Please step on my toes. I like my toes to be stepped on.
Oh
Yeah,
boy,
you see, now that's how you get someone's tongue right there, folks.
yeah,
You say something that catches them off guard, and then you ask them, "Hey, did cat get your tongue?" And then,
you're right.
for me personally, I feel like this saying is like more antagonistic. Like if you tell them like, "Oh, like cat got your tongue," like it's a little bit like angry at them, like condescending. So like how I was like, I caught you off guard, and I was expecting a reaction,
Mhm.
So, and then it's just like you're rubbing it in someone else's face a little bit further, like when you point out that they don't have anything else to say.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Yeah. It is, you brought it up already, antagonistic. Like, I feel like this expression, and these are what I was alluding to earlier with what I had on this. I feel like it's an old villainy thing to say. Like, we've had this conversation already when we were prepping for the show, but like, think of like Cruella de Vil, like the original Cruella from 101 Dalmatians. I haven't seen the movie recently, but she had to have said that at some point. You know, like some old westerny like sheriff dude. He's looking at a bank robber. He's about to pull out his pistol. He's like, "Cat got your tongue." Fucking shoots their tongue out of their mouth. I'd watch it. Yeah. So this is one of those that is a little more aggressive and antagonistic, like you said. But I'd swipe right on it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
I think if you're gonna use it, you might as well use it on someone unsuspecting, like really catch them off guard.
Yeah.
And that just adds insult to injury. So I'm swiping right on it.
You're not saying this to go half-assed. Like,
No.
you've already pissed this person off with whatever you said. They're shocked. And then you're basically stepping on their big toe by like final nail in the coffin kind of shit, where they're like, "Oh, cat got your tongue." That's
Salt,
the final. Yeah,
salt in the wound.
Yes, you are right on that. Man, maybe we should have done this next one when we were talking about the breakup.
Oh, true. Well, don't worry, Ian, because as they say, there are plenty of fish in the sea.
Correctamundo, buddy. There are plenty of fish in the sea. I have not a lot of thoughts on this, but I feel like you might, being in the dating pool. How do you feel about the fish out there right now? What's the climate like? No.
Well, there's a lot of pee in the pool.
Oh, there's plenty of fish in the sea. There's a lot of pee in the pool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit in the tub. Cat got your tongue? As Grant's finishing his laugh, we're sponsored by it.
But yeah. So a lot of pee in the pool right now. It's interesting being on the dating apps. That's why we came up with the name Swipe Right to that, because there are, just like the dating apps, you swipe right, you swipe left, you decide what you want to do. And with that, there's plenty of fish in the sea as well too on these dating apps. There's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of cat got my tongue. There's a lot of different people that you can meet on these dating apps as well. So I know why Ian called me out on that one, but
yeah, we're good friends. I would consider you more than an acquaintance at this point in our relationship, being 8 years known each other, 8 years friends. I feel like it's been longer than that, actually. What age were we in middle school? Like 8th grade? That was 14. Had to be, right?
I think so, yeah.
Especially, so right on. Yeah,
I think it was 14 going into high school.
That's right on the money then. Yeah, we've known each other 8 years. We're 22. Yeah, like with this, yeah, there are plenty of fish in the sea. It's mainly the thing that your dad's gonna say. You're trying to go to him for advice. He's also probably like, I'm not talking about your dad. I'm just talking about a scenario. He's also on Tinder. He's like, there are plenty of fish in the sea. We both swipe right on the same girl, son. No, I don't know what this example is becoming.
There's something you want to talk about, Ian?
No, it's okay. I love my girlfriend. But no, like, oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, without giving any names, because anyone who's gone on a date with Grant Smith, you keep in contact with them. So without spilling too many details, without spilling any names or anything like that, what's been the worst date you've been on?
Okay, that one, easy answer.
Oh shit, he doesn't even. He had it locked and loaded, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't prep that question. He already knew.
I've already told the story a few times, but went on a date with one girl. did a little picnic date around like the what's it called? Around like the UCF Arboretum area.
University of Central Florida, go Knights.
Go night show, John.
Yeah.
But talked my ear off the entire time. That was usually like in any other dates that I've gone on, they tend to be very 50-50 with the conversation, very back and forth. This one, it was 85% her with the conversation, just 15% me trying to get a word in. Yeah, so
Yikes.
it was by the time like 4 hours go by, like we're still talking, she's talking.
Same
Um,
location.
Same location, pretty much.
Wow.
We hike a little bit around like the area, but I just have a massive headache at the end of the date. I probably sound like a piece of shit for saying all this, but
No, I like the way you described the story to me the first time, and I definitely remember you telling me this. Like, I actually just had a job interview today, and there was no reciprocation with the interviewer. Like, I would answer the question that he asked me, and he would just say, "Okay," and go to the next question. So it's kind of like I was, giving my all. I was given, all. Like, you want to have reciprocation, and um, especially with dating, like jobs and dating, those are the two areas. I guess your relationship with your parents as well, you want to have that communication. Yeah. And yeah, like, I don't think people are gonna fault you for for saying this. I don't think you're a dick, uh but other people might. And that's why you should go to manscaped.com. If people think you're a dick, at least not have it, don't have it hairy. uh we we got to get some real sponsors soon, even though this is episode 1. But yeah, so that was worst date. Um, what was the best date? And then for our listeners, I've only dated like 2 people, and I was already dating them before we went on dates because it was high school. So that's why Grant's not asking me these questions.
yes, being America's most eligible bachelor.
Indeed.
But no, best date. I've had some good dates where they're just nice. Like I've had the kind of even similar dates where I go on like picnics with other girls, and like those end up being really nice times. We talk, and like that's when the conversation usually ends up being 50-50. We kind of catch a vibe together. It's nice. You see that there's a mutual interest. It's just when the conversation just swings in one way too much, like a pendulum in a sense, like it's where it's the vibe gets a little bit ruined. So that's kind of trying to think of a better way to tie topic together. But you can't always judge a book by its cover. Sometimes you have
Yes.
the dates might not always end up great, but you might, if you give it a chance, things might go out better. Who knows?
You're right. I really like this expression. Oh, wait, are we swiping right on there are plenty of fish in the sea?
I'll swipe right to it.
Yeah.
It's I'm probably gonna have to tell my kid when they break up with their girlfriend, or like when we swipe right on the same girl on Tinder. Like
Thank you
if
for
they're
bringing that example.
I'll probably tell the same expression to them so that way they don't feel as bad.
Yeah, you're right. At that point, it's like, are they gonna? I don't even know what. Like, we're only gonna have kids in like within the next like decade or so. But I was just like, what if there's no fish in the future? That was the thought that crossed my head. Then I realized it's not like it's not like we're having kids in like thousands of years. But you're right. You're right. We'll probably be telling our kids that same thing.
There's talks of overfishing. So
Oh, hey,
stay woke, kids.
you are correct. You are right. You are right. But I really like this next, the one that you already said. You can't judge a book by its cover. That's a classic one. Like, you can't even dispute that. You've heard that one before, and you've used it as well. One of my favorite bands, the Monkees. They have this album called Live 1967, and at one point during the album, they cover like their favorite songs from the time. And Michael Nesmith, who's my favorite Monkey, he covers a song called "You Can't Judge a Book by Its Cover." So the chorus of it's like, "You can't judge a book by looking at the cover," and I'm just always every single time I hear it, I just hear that in my head. You got to listen to the song. But yeah, uh, we've all been guilty of it as well.
Yeah. What's been your biggest judging a book by its cover story? You had any experiences like that?
Yeah, I mean, let's see here. Like judging a book by its cover. Um,
I
Probably
gotta say the Morbius movie, man. People judge it. It's probably one of the best pieces of cinema out there. All right. Keep
no,
going.
you're goddamn right. I see all these memes slandering it. There are entire meme pages dedicated to the slander of Morbius. They're going to be blown out of the water when they see it, and then when Morbius 2 comes out. Who is our next sponsor? No, go see Morbius 2, 2025. Jared Leto's still around. Um, no, my biggest, I mean, I still can't think of anything right now. I'm trying to, can't judge a book by its cover. I mean, probably, maybe, you and I, you know, we didn't know each, like, like Grant and I, to give a little backstory, we met in the 8th grade. We hit it off right away in PE class. But I was basically going into like high school, like 9th grade, only like with a surface level knowledge of Grant. And basically at the time, I mean, not a lot has changed, but he was a playboy back in the day. He like like he had like at that point he's already kissed 5 girls, kissed a few guys too. Um, no, I'm just I'm just
Can't judge a book by its cover.
can't judge a book by its cover. No, I'm just, but no, at that point, like I just thought of Grant as this like charismatic playboy, machoistic. Is that a word? Sure. I just made it up. If it's not a word. And then we get to high school, we finally start opening up to each other, and he's a dweeb. So no, that's not where I wanted to go with that. But no, like, yeah, probably our relationship to where I just thought you were, so cool, like so unreachable as a friend. But we're like best friends since middle school, and we connect on such a personal level. So yeah.
Meanwhile, I really thought he smelt in that PE class when we were on the fields together. Like, Jesus, this guy didn't take a shower during
Those,
those middle school showers. Am I right, folks?
hey, those gym shorts were mesh. They were not keeping the smell in. Uh,
No. Like Ian, exactly to what Ian said though. Like we've been great friends since then. I thought Ian was the charismatic, popular guy. He had his whole friend group of all the PS4 kids as well too. They all were playing with.
yeah.
I remember Noel, like they were sneaking in PS4 games like just to trade right before class would start too. I don't know if you remember that, but they had like Connor and all them. They had those circles together where they would be like hiding the PS4 games and then they would trade it with each other because that was back before like you could like digitally download the games.
Oh, you are completely right. And also the fact that it was kind of hard to smuggle things in middle school because you only have binders. You're not allowed to have bags on you, like a book bag, unheard of in middle school. You either had your binder where you kept everything or like the PE bag, but those were see through.
Mm-hmm.
And after PE class, let's say you have PE class like right in the morning, you're not going to hide anything in your dirty clothes.
No.
So yeah, we had to sneak that shit, man.
We had
Back
to
in the, yeah.
had to smuggle it. We had to keister it at some points.
No, I still have the scars, man. Don't even bring that up. God. No. But no, I think it all worked out in the end. Grant, like I said, we've been friends for 8 years now. We're still with basically the same friend group. We actually, hey, shout out to the party last week at Noel's, where we basically got that middle school gang back together.
Right.
That was amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah. Like I hadn't seen some of those guys for like 3 years.
Got the old NCTAA squad together, like a quarter or a half of them,
I think it was all the people that mattered. Basically. Yikes. No, but we had this club back in the day called the NCTAA. Our good buddy Noel Christie. So that's the NC part of the acronym. He used to do this thing with, he still does it too. Still got it to this day. He does this thing with this. Yeah. He does it with his pecs where, he can like bounce them up and like, yeah, we can't do it. Like, no, like we'll have to get him on the show one time just to have that visual. But we basically said, Noel, your tits are amazing. Hence NCTAA. Noel Christie's tits are amazing. So yeah.
And thus the comedy troupe was born.
Yeah. Like we had a comedy show that we did on YouTube as well. We would go to Posner Park in Haines City, Florida, and record our shit there while being public menaces to everybody else.
Oh, they hated us. You know what those people did? They judged us by the cover of the stupid stuff that we were doing.
And they were kind of right too, man. You look back on those videos, they were right to do that, But I think it all worked out in the end, and we lived happily
ever after.
Yeah. I'm swiping right on can't judge a book by its cover. I like that expression.
I like it too. I think it's good to still keep as well. I think it has a moral to it, as well. You could tie it into a bunch of different stories, so I'll keep it.
Definitely. And they lived happily ever after. That's another classic. You don't get expressions like this anymore. The kids, they're saying woke and whoa and sheesh. It's one word. It can't be a cliche expression if it's one word.
True. And even these days, some of the stories that we're looking at, they don't even have happily ever afters too. We were talking about Invincible and The Boys before this, and those shows are pretty dark.
There's not like there with so many anti-hero movies and all that, and just movies that it's not going to end the way you want sometimes. There's not a lot of happily ever afters. Yeah, especially movie wise, story wise, like the fucking all the shit going on in the news.
People are rooting for the anti-heroes.
Exactly. Like, who do you think was the last just like straight up happily ever after story? I have my answer. What's yours?
That I've seen recently?
Oh, yeah.
Last night I saw Raya and the Last Dragon, the Pixar movie.
I have not seen it.
It's okay. It's a kid's movie. It's like you can skip it. But it was a good ending, It teaches you to trust in people, and then they lived happily ever after. They lived with the dragons, and people were very happy. I'm sorry, that's a spoiler for people who are really invested into the Raya and the Last Dragon fandom.
Did you just spoil the fact that there are multiple dragons in that movie? Because the title says Last Dragon. Holy shit. Well, I guess, yeah. And so we're going to swipe left on Raya and the Last Dragon. Tune into our next episode when we do Pixar movie. No, I was playing. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like Shrek.
Yeah.
Come on. They like four stunning movies. One of them being the Shrek 4D. Yeah. That we lived happily ever after that fourth dimension. Am I right? Holy shit! Do you remember those smello things?
Yeah, I remember going to like the Nick Hotel. They had like the SpongeBob performance, or the SpongeBob 4D theater, and they had those there too.
I'm jealous of you right now, man, because I always wanted to go to the Nick Hotel while I was there. And I got invited to a birthday party. It was one of my cousins, and I ended up not going just because I had other plans. Being a 9-year-old, like I had a business meeting at 8 that day. So couldn't go. Schedules conflicted. But I still, up until like probably in like the last 5 years, I still had the invitation for the party, and like it had pictures of the resort on it, and I'm like, I never got to experience the Nick Hotel. Like, what the hell? Was it everything that you ever wanted?
everything I ever wanted and more. They had the giant slime bucket that like every hour or so it would like drop onto the water park. It was probably a pain for like people to clean up like through the system and everything, but like they had like the giant TV screens that you could like watch in the pool. The main thing was the pool and like the water park there. That was the main thing. Yeah, the gift shops and all that. You got to see some of the characters. Actually, okay, I'm gonna hype it up even more and make you miss out on it. You got phone. Your Ian is experiencing real time FOMO, folks. They would decorate the rooms like to be so similar to like the Nickelodeon characters like on places. Like I would be in like a SpongeBob themed like hotel room, or one that would be like the Wild Thornberries themed as well. So it was amazing. It was a good time. That was when I was first moving to Florida. I stayed there with my mom for a little bit while we were like house hunting and all that.
Oh my God.
Are you looking at the photos now?
I'm looking at some photos, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. There is a photo on Google where they have like all the characters lined up,
Mhm.
like all the ones that you could probably possibly meet. I'm looking here at Cosmo and Wanda, SpongeBob and Patrick, Jimmy Neutron, Diego, and Dora hanging out with TMNT. You got Squidward lurking in the background.
Like Manny is.
And is that I don't even know if this is one. Is this the Backyardigans? Is Backyardigans Nick?
Yes.
What the fuck, dude? They had Backyardigans where you can meet them.
Could have met Pablo, man.
That is insane. There was a doorway that was SpongeBob's pineapple.
Yep.
You've got to be shitting me, dude. God damn it.
Well, some might say Ian's not living happily ever after.
No, yeah, this was a bad idea to look this up.
But
Wow. Okay.
on one small tangent, though, it's funny that you mentioned about Shrek because the same animators that worked on Shrek, Vanguard Productions, they also worked on a similar film, coincidentally titled Happily Never After. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's another animated film. It's on HBO Max. Okay story, but it's basically a story where the bad guys win in their own classic fairy tales.
Nice. Okay.
Huh.
I'll have to check that out. You said HBO Max?
Yep.
You've been going on that HBO Max binge.
I have been. I've been on my DC binge, hence the Green Lantern shirt. I've been loving that. We got Disney Plus as well too. We saw the Encanto movie. We saw that Raya movie that I mentioned before. So we also I watched WandaVision as well too, and that did not have a happily ever after really either.
No. Yeah. You watch WandaVision, you think, okay, open-ended ending to where I guess I watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and then I'm not going to spoil the movie or anything, but I don't know, man. So yeah, you're completely right. Thank you for getting my mind off of the Nick Hotel. I think I'm going to be better for the rest of the night now. But yeah, that's about it for the show. Like, do we have any final thoughts on And They Lived Happily Ever After?
I feel like I'm kind of in the middle on it. I'm not too sure if I'm going to swipe right or swipe left on it yet, but it's okay expression. I guess I'm leaning towards swiping right on it. Again, anti-heroes and all that. People want sad stories now these days as well too. So
I want to feel something at the end of the day. And if it's just happily ever after, am I feeling anything?
I want the person I was rooting for throughout this story to fail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that is a great way to wrap up the show. I'm glad we put happily ever after at the end there. Yeah, thank you for listening, everybody. We're gonna try to do this as frequently as possible. Grant and I are full-time working men, so we're gonna try to get that content out to you. Maybe pick up a sponsor or two from here into the next episode, whether that be real or most likely one of the products that we come up with that we'll have sponsor our own episode. What's a Grant? Don't even think. 3, 2, 1. What's a product that's going to sponsor the show? Go.
This new product is revolutionary. It's a product that, people need on a day-to-day basis, a product where some might say we can't live without, and that a product that we're already made up of. Ian, do you have any guesses for what this product might be?
I'm stalling inator.
Nope, you're stupid. It's water.
Oh, damn. But were you stalling just a little bit to think of something?
Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't, but hey, I'm just saying, water. If you are looking for people to get your message out, we are the ones to do it. So for the CEO of Water, please reach out to us. We're open for sponsors.
And to piggyback off of that, that is sponsor number 1. They're going to do the majority of our content. Sponsor number 2 is going to be Panasonic. I'm at my girlfriend's house right now, and they have their CD player. Dude, how much do you want to bet that half the guests at the Nick Hotel back in the day packed this in their bag?
They had to.
They went to the pool. They had their whole book of CDs, and they just like kept popping them in, standing by SpongeBob and Patrick.
Right. The kids are out playing. They're just listening to the Backyardigans soundtrack,
Yeah.
A fire soundtrack, might I add.
Oh, no, I completely agree with that. I think this is so old. Oh,
no.
For people who are podcast only and you're not seeing the visuals, what the fuck are you doing? But no, if you want to go on YouTube, look at this. Wow, that's retro. Did you have one of these as a kid?
No, I've heard of people who've had like Walkmans and stuff like that. I never had one of those.
I had one of these bad boys because I didn't want to listen to the radio in the car. So I would have like my CDs in the back, and I would listen to this. You plug in your headphones. Oh, right here. But as a little kid, you're gonna do everything like fidgety and all that. So if you would do this while a CD was playing, it would like skip some parts and just like mess up while you were listening. So yeah, these were not that effective, and probably Spotify is the way to go nowadays. Yeah. Any other final thoughts, Grant?
This was a good episode. Totally our first time filming this episode. No other takes were taken before this episode. This was all perfect the first time.
Yeah, we had no snags with microphones or me sounding like I was underwater with all the other fish in the sea. No, yeah, this is not our second take.
And like the grass is greener on the other side, and we're on that greener side right now, I'll say.
Yeah. And we're gonna let you guys go because I have a massive knicker wedgie. I had to say that very carefully. I wanted to enunciate. And I hope everyone is well, and go kiss your dog on the lips.
Yeah, and your cats too, as long as they don't get your tongue.
Yes. Nice. All right. Love everyone.
Goodbye.